Hey, what's going on out there? I'm Sean Devine with ADSR. Hope you all are doing well. Today we're taking a first look at some of the new features in the Neutron 2 Advanced plugin from iZotope. As you can see, we have a completely redesigned interface, very clean, very easy to get around, some cool new features within the plugin, and then there's also some great new inter-plugin communication with other plugins that are actually included with Neutron so that you can get a balanced mix very easily. I'll show you those in just a second, but let's first take a look at some of the new features on the plugin itself. The first thing to point out is that we have a new module here in Neutron, which is the multi-band gate. We actually get 3 bands of control over the gate and also some handy internal and external sidechain options there for you. Next up is the newly designed Track Assistant UI. So if we click on that tab up there, we're going to get a dialog here asking us what we're going for, and we can choose our instrument type, or we can let Neutron auto detect that. So then we'll select our style. I'm going to go for warm here, and then we'll put the intensity to low since I already have a little bit of processing on this channel. So we'll hit next, and it's going to ask us to play audio. I'm just going to solo this instrument. All right, so then it's going to give us a suggestion to help get started here. So we're just going to click accept. And let's see what it did here. It did a little bit of EQ, rolled off some lows, a little bit of compression, as well as some exciting. So let's just keep it soloed, and I'm going to let you hear with and without the track assistant suggestions here. Nice. So it just brought everything up a little bit, gave us a little bit of a more compressed, glued sound, and gave us some brightness with the equalizer and the exciter. So now let's go to one of our other tracks that is utilizing Neutron. I'm going to go to our hats here, and we'll pull that up. And I want to point out that we now have these handy width as well as panning controls for any of our channels that have Neutron on it. So just really convenient to have that width there. Let's just say we wanted to widen our hi-hats a little bit, or narrow them. So cool to just have that there. Some other DAWs have a little bit different way of doing our panning. So if you just want a straightforward left and right for any of the channels with Neutron, that's there for your use. You also now have our mono, stereo, as well as our phase, and then our left and right swap that you might have been familiar with from Ozone. There's also been some improvements to the Neutrino. We have a new option here for piano. So if you want to utilize that. So with Neutron 2 Advanced, we now have this really cool inner plugin communication with add-ons like MixTap, Visual Mixer, and the tonal balance control. So I'm going to show you a couple of these. The first one is the Visual Mixer. Now, this is just going to give you a nice visual representation of both level as well as stereo field for each of the channels. So let's just take a look at how this works.
I've been beating on the drum since day one, feeling music in my soul when I had to run from all the pain in my life. White collar people chasing after bottles, ain't nobody tell you that the problem stay coming in. Even if you got money and you hungry for the love of something bigger. I practice ball all day in my parents' driveway, gloves on, coat zip, 30 points a game like MJ. And my mama fell down, everything changed.
Another example of the inner plugin communication that we are capable of using Neutron 2 Advanced is with the tonal balance control. So think of the tonal balance as the interaction of all your tracks across a frequency spectrum. Now what iZotope did was they measured thousands of mixes and they gave us these optimal ranges for low, low mid, and high frequencies. Now you'll see this represented in this green range. That's where you want to be, and the white stripe will show you where we are in our session. So let's just go ahead and play it back and see what tonal balance control gives us.
I've been beating on the drum since day one, feeling music in my soul when I had to run from all the pain in my life. White collar people chasing after bottles, ain't nobody tell you that the problem stay coming in. Even
So we'll see that I am in the target range here. Now you can also switch your target settings depending on the type of audio material you're working on. So in this case, I have it on bass heavy. We also have a modern target setting as well as an orchestral setting. So the great thing about the tonal balance control is then now once we have this representation of our entire track, we can go in and make edits to any of the instances of Neutron 2 Advanced EQs or even the Ozone 8 EQ. So let's go ahead and let's just select our vocal aux. And let's say I wanted to adjust the lows or low mids here. I would just adjust accordingly. And you can see that it will adjust that corresponding Neutron 2 instance. All right, so that is a first look at some of the new features in Neutron 2 Advanced from iZotope. Most notably, we have a new module for our chain, which is the multiband gate. We also have some improvements to the neutrino technology, including a new piano mode. There's also width and left and right panning controls directly from any of our Neutron instances. We also have this really cool inter-plugin communication technology. It's going to give you a lot of flexibility over your individual tracks as well as the entire tonal balance of your mix. Be sure to check out Neutron 2 Advanced and also subscribe to the channel ADSR for more plugin first looks in the future.